Welcome back to Elements of Art in our unit on form. I'm Natasha, and I got to thinking, have you ever really studied the natural forms around you? How about the intricate structure of a flower, or the graceful curves of a seashell? Nature has an incredible way of creating organic forms that are both diverse and mesmerizing. In this lesson, we are going to continue to discuss form as a three-dimensional shape. However, today we are going to focus on organic forms instead of geometric. Organic forms embrace their uniqueness and resist confinement. They possess a sense of unpredictability, wildness, and irregularity. In this lesson, we will observe and explore the beauty of organic forms and their influence on artistic expression. In today's lesson, we will learn what characteristics define organic forms, identify organic forms in some artwork examples, and practice drawing both recognizable and non-objective organic forms. Discussing organic forms is fun, and you don't need to know any math terms to join in. Consider organic forms like the unique path a river takes. It's not perfect, it's not symmetrical, it's not geometric, but it is natural, unforced, and has its own distinct character. Just like no two rivers follow the same course, every organic form has its own individuality. Like organic shapes, organic forms are generally found in nature. Because it is a form, it is three-dimensional, but it is not defined by mathematical principles. Organic forms are natural and are typically characterized by their irregularity and asymmetry. Nature contains a variety of organic forms, such as the form of a leaf, a tree, a mountain, a human body, etc. An effective method to recognize an organic form is to look for uneven boundaries or contours. They lack the exactness and symmetry typical of geometric forms. The forms found in the natural world, like shells, rocks, and living creatures, can be used to show life and nature. Undulating organic forms made outside of mathematically defined structures can be used to create unpredictability, and juxtaposing organic forms with geometric forms can provide variety and contrast. Show life and nature. Organic forms representing nature help portray life, growth, and natural happenings. Create unpredictability. Their irregularity adds unexpected elements to art, making it more dramatic and exciting. Provide variety and contrast. Organic forms can contrast with geometric forms, balancing the unpredictability of nature with the predictability of man-made elements. From sketching the rugged contours of landscapes to the detailed depiction of muscular limbs, from illustrating the delicately thin structure of leaves and foliage to the captured essence of living creatures, and from modeling the unique curves of a nose in a portrait to abstract fluid designs, including organic forms, breathes life into art and elevates it to greatness. Let's look at a few artworks. Each of these examples prominently features the component of organic form. Let's evaluate each in an attempt to identify the function of the various organic forms present in each painting. In Woman with a Fan, the human form is the focus. The nuances of the organic human form are especially found in the stretched neck and facial features. Such distortions and exaggerations accentuate emotion and a distinct identity. The organic contours of the figure stand in stark contrast to the flat background, further placing significance on the human form in the composition. What other forms do you see in the painting? Do you see any other exaggerations other than those we mentioned in the organic form of the figure? Take a moment to reflect in your lesson notes. In Based on Leaf Forms and Spaces, the essence of nature rather than the literal appearance is shown. The organic forms in this piece are inspired by plants, as we see in the title, and serve as abstracted interpretations of nature. The entwined configuration of the forms provides a sense of unity and interconnectedness. Could you see how the close-fitting forms mirror nature's balance and relationships? Do you feel a pulsating rhythmic quality to this painting? What might this visual dance say about nature? Lastly, do these abstracted forms look similar to anything other than leaves? Pause for a moment to jot down your thoughts in your lesson notes. In red peppers, organic forms are most present in the peppers and flowers. These forms showcase the beauty and diversity of nature. The irregular forms of the peppers create rhythm in the composition, especially when juxtaposed against the more static form of the geometric table. How do the distinct forms of the peppers and petals highlight the diversity present in nature? What is your impression of the vase's form? Does it evoke an organic sensation? Take some time to record your reflections. Now let's explore how to draw and shade organic forms. We'll start with a recognizable object of a pear, and then we'll move on to a more complex and irregular non-objective form. Engaging in these exercises will sharpen our skills in marrying reality with creativity in our artwork. Let's start out with drawing the form of a nice pear. Remember, no pear is perfect, and that's part of their charm. This light sketch has already been created for you in your PDF. Now locate where your light is coming from. In this image, it is located in the top right. Begin your shading with gentle strokes and light application on the parts of the pear that are closer to the light. Gradually increase pressure and layering for the sections further away from the light to achieve richer darks. Softly smudge your shades. This creates a smooth gradient, making your pear look soft and round. Every subject has its moment in the spotlight. Using your eraser, gently lift off some value where the light hits the pear directly. Lastly, to ground your pear so it doesn't look like it's floating, add a subtle shadow beneath it. Next, let's draw a non-objective form. This form has more intricacies regarding contour and surface planes than the pear. A light version of this outline has already been created for you in the PDF. Start with loose hand movements to create a rough outline. This gesture doesn't need to be precise. It's just a way to get the natural feel of the form. Using a light value, shade the entire form, ensuring that you're keeping in mind the light source. This creates a midtone which will serve as the base. Next, find the direction from which the light is coming. Identify the areas that would be least hit by the light and shade them with a darker value. Use a blending stump or tissue to softly blend the shading. Then you will introduce highlights and any visible reflections with your eraser. Gently lift off some of the shading from the areas that represent your brightest highlights. Finish by enhancing shadows if necessary. So we've learned how to draw and shade both a familiar organic form, the pear, and a more complex and abstracted figure. By studying light, shadow, and the structure of these objects, we've enhanced our drawing skills in the realm of organic form. Drawing and shading organic forms can be trickier than geometric ones due to fewer guidelines for renderings. Remember though, practice makes progress. Additional practice has been provided in your PDF. In today's lesson, we explored organic forms in art, those naturally occurring 3D shapes that aren't bound by mathematical rules. We looked at art pieces showcasing these forms and also practiced drawing them. Organic forms are everywhere. You can see them in the hilly terrain, in draped cloth, or even in the fruit on your table. As you observe your environment, take notice of these natural forms. And remember, art is all around you.
Hey!